Hey everybody, Paul McFarland here again with another little treat from the Chiat treasure trove, again from the Rizzoli book. It's actually going to be two quick ones. And as always, making a great point about how you can use this timelessly creative thinking in what we're doing today. First, we'll talk about Mitsubishi televisions. See, the work they did in the late 80s with Mitsubishi was really great, and I talked about it in another video. This is number 63, 64, who knows. And the whole thing was about big screen TVs and the quality of big screen TV. They were big screen TVs, but never looked as good as Mitsubishi had done with theirs. And I liked them so much, I actually bought one, the Mitsubishi console, 27 or 35 inch, whatever. It was a tube, but I thought, ooh. So how do you announce it and make it feel like news when you've got a new one? And this was the history's first 35-inch conventional tube TV. You could not get a tube television set that size before this year. And see, now everything's pixels and plasma screens and tiny little thin things, as the future was supposed to be. But the point is here, when you have something to announce to news that has to do with a size, something you can measure, what do you do? Well, what they did, if you can find a newspaper these days, open it up to a big double-page spread. The TV, a 35-inch, look at your monitors you have right now. You don't have a 35-inch unless you're some kind of a, whatever. It's bigger than that. So what they did, they said, building history's first 35-inch conventional tube TV was hard enough. Finding a newspaper big enough to see it was impossible. So it was a double-page newspaper spread with a tape measure that doesn't fit. And of course, the tape measure, when you were holding it in a newspaper, was actual size. An inch looked like an inch. And again, do they show the product? No. They got attention for the product, right? See, a good mark of a thing is, it's not so much a great ad, but the ad says it must be a great product. I'll say that again. People should never say, oh, what a great ad, as much as they should say, wow, that's an ad for a great product. And that's what you're doing here. 35-inch tube. And if you're doing something, anything, you're making a sandwich, you're making a burger, you're making a dongle, a thing, whatever it is, where the size, how big it is or how small it is, it makes a point. You can do that even on a phone. When people are looking at something, on Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook, you can make a point about the size of something in relation to what people have in their hands. You really can. Why no one's doing that? I don't know. I'm telling you, do it. Do it. It's simple, but use the device that someone is holding to make them feel how big something is or how close they're looking at it, etc., compared to the size of your hand, whatever. And it doesn't matter how big their phone is, you can still do this. Now, the next thing I want to point out is something very simple, and it's a very special case, and I don't see it very often for two reasons. The thing I'm about to show you here is so bloody simple and so cool because of the campaign it was referencing. Now, the thing is, campaigns, whether they're slogans or identifiable things, as you should know, are few and far between these days. And I question the leaders of every large agency that follows this and follows me to tell me why that doesn't happen anymore. We've been told that people don't want campaigns, that people don't pay attention. You got to be fresh and different, new all the time. Well, you can be, but that's not the only way. The point is, slogans and lines that mean something, that bring people together around something, are still few and far between. But, my friends at Mischief, they have an opportunity to do what I'm about to talk about, because Mischief is who their name is, it's their spirit, and the ads are always mischievous. So it's just the perfect alignment of all that. Well done, again. But if you happen to have anything you're working on where everyone knows the slogan, everyone knows what the brand is, and I value you if you do, poke fun of it, or look at it in a different lens. In 1987, when Chiat got Nissan and launched the first ads for Built for the Human Race, and they were USA Today 3-page newspaper ads. It was big news, a new campaign to say Nissan's new, we're new. The television, of course, was just so-so, because I talked about this a long time ago, but it was the idea that they were trying to get real people, and for whatever reason they ended up using actors, and it was whatever. But the line was Built for the Human Race, which was a cool line as long as lines are. And one of the first things they did was a billboard for trucks built for the human race. And what are they saying here? They're showing, hey, it's not a beautiful truck. It's how people use the trucks. It's splattered in effing mud. Hey, we understand how you use a car. And that was the whole thing was all about. It was really talking about, can we demonstrate Nissan designs and builds and sells cars based on a deeper understanding of the relationship we have with our cars? It's a big ask, but it was a good ask. Well, the point is, during that first year, everything, Built for the Human Race, Built for the Human Race, Built for the Human Race, signed off everything. It was that line they're trying to pound in. And cars actually do try to do lines, but now their lines have to be 1 or 2 words, and now they all blend in. Ha ha. But in that first year or so, when all the newspaper and the magazine ads and the inserts, the brochures and the dealer things and the television spots, etc., all Built for the Human Race, Built for the Human Race, they were able to do this: avoid the human race. Now, cool ad, makes the point really well, getting away from it all, getting away from people. But the point is, whatever you're working on, if you have recognition for a slogan, for a line, a look, a way of being, and I wonder if anybody does anymore, play with it. Find a reason to play with the slogan, play with the look, to make a particular point about some other part of your business. I know this might be advanced, super, VIP, secret ninja level thinking, but I hope you'll get this. If you have something that people know, find a way to play with it. We do it in culture all the time. Look at all the alternate American flags to express whatever, which technically are all against the federal standards of flag etiquette. But it's a thing, and you can do that as a thing. So let's review. Today, if you've got something that relates to the size of what the product is, it's really small, it's really big, it's a particular size, use people's devices to have fun with that and make fun. We want to show you our blah, 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 but no iPhone is big enough to show it, In fact, I'll tell you about something that isn't in here. I wish it was. And I wish it was in the next book, but it isn't. One of the best things Chiat did for Jack in the Box when it was still just Dick City working there, it was a truck, an 18-wheeler, that had whatever their giant burger was, and it said, whatever burger, actual size. It said actual size and asterisk, not actual size. Because it was just enormous. It was just having fun with it. You can do that. Have fun with what your line is and play with it. Play with size, play with your own line, turn it around. Be mischievous with your own mischief. Come on. And in fact, I'm looking forward to Mischief doing something with their own site or their own social media that is acting as if they have hired themselves to do their own branding, and they do something mischievous with their own mischief. I trust they'll do that. I really do. So anyway, see you next time on the Rizzoli book, or maybe back to the 50 book, or maybe back to the binder, or who knows? Maybe, well, I'm not going to tell you. Take care and make the work better.